Welcome to Revelation Unraveled. I'm your host, William Tapley, also known as the Third Eagle of the Apocalypse and the co-prophet of the End Times. This is my first update since my last video, where I announced that the 7 years of tribulation would begin on October 13th. I also suggested in that program that World War III could begin on that same date also. World War III will occur at the beginning of the tribulation period. However, I also noted that Jesus could shorten those days, as he promised. And I believe that prophecy was also fulfilled this past week, because an amazing event occurred which was totally unreported in our media. And that is that a missile site in Iran blew up, which housed most of their ballistic missiles, all of which were aimed at Israel. Normally, this would be a tremendous front-page story. There was a total media blackout of this story. I was only able to find one place where this was reported, and that is on the Debka File website. Now, as I read this story, I want you to ask yourself, how is it possible that this story was completely blacked out in our American news media? A top-secret Iranian military installation was struck by a triple blast Tuesday, October 12th, the day before Iranian President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad arrived in Lebanon. Debka File's military and intelligence sources report the site held most of the Shihab-3 medium-range missile launchers Iran had stocked for striking U.S. forces in Iraq and Israel in the event of war, some set to deliver triple warheads. The 18 soldiers officially reported killed in the blasts and 14 injured belonged to the Revolutionary Guard's main missile arm, the Al-Hadid Brigades. 18 people killed anywhere in the world would be newsworthy. But these were Iranian Revolutionary Guards. They were killed at a top-secret missile base. And the news media does not consider this important? How can this possibly be? All last week, they were talking about balloons released over New York City, which they called UFOs. How is it possible that that story took precedence over this one? And this story was completely censored. Our Iranian sources report that Tehran spent hundreds of millions to build one of the largest subterranean missile launching facilities of its kind in the Middle East or Europe. Somehow, a mysterious hand rigged these blasts in quick succession, deep inside those tunnels, destroying a large number of launchers, causing enough damage to render the facility unfit for use. In its official statement on the incident, Tehran denied it was the result of a terrorist attack and claimed the explosion was caused by a nearby fire that spread to the munitions storage area of this base. So the question is, what is this mysterious hand which rigged these three blasts in quick succession? So this Debka File reporter is suggesting that this was sabotage. That's what is meant by the mysterious hand. Iran, on the other hand, is suggesting that this was an accident. I am going to suggest that it was neither. I believe this was the hand of God. In actual fact, Debka File's military sources report Iran's missile arsenal and the Revolutionary Guards have also suffered a devastating blow. Worst of all their experts are at a loss to account for the assailants. Now notice assailants here. Debka File is still suggesting that this was some kind of sabotage by the Israelis. The assailants' ability to penetrate one of Iran's most closely guarded bases and reach deep underground to blow up the missile launchers. The soldiers' funerals took place Thursday, October 14th, at the same time as Ahmadinejad declared in South Lebanon that Israel was destined to disappear. A few hours later, he ended his contentious two-way visit to Lebanon. Now, Ahmadinejad made this prediction that Israel would disappear on the Israeli-Lebanese border. I do not believe this was an Israeli commando raid. I do not believe this was an accident. I believe this was a case of Jesus shortening the days. Those missiles were supposed to be launched on October 13th. That would have precipitated World War III. That is why Iranian President Ahmadinejad was at the Israeli border on October 13th. He was not there to announce the future destruction of Israel. Ahmadinejad was there to watch the destruction of Israel. But our Lord prevented the plans of Satan. And now I would like to give you my 3 reasons why I believe this. First of all was the amazing media blackout of this story. As you know, Satan controls the news media. Normally, any story about death and destruction is front-page news. Satan loves death and destruction. So why was the media quiet this time? The reason is because this was a huge defeat for Satan. Satan had planned to start World War III on October 13th. He was defeated. Jesus shortened the days of the tribulation. My second reason is the very interesting numerology. Notice, according to this Debka file story, there were 3 huge explosions. 3, of course, is the number of the Trinity. And please note also, there were 18 Iranian Revolutionary Guards killed. 18 is the number of the Antichrist. That is 6 plus 6 plus 6. And my third reason is the timing of this event. This explosion occurred October 12th, just hours before the planned start of World War III, October 13th, which was, of course, the start of the 7 years of tribulation. And if you would like more information or a free copy of my book, Revelation Unraveled, simply write to the address you see on your screen.